Hey guys, it's Christina with Cardinal Rose Creations again here. So today we're going to be doing a flag tumbler tutorial, and I kind of wanted to start ahead of that. So I wanted to take you through a cup completely. So that's what I'm going to do with the flag tumbler, is I'm going to start completely. So I have a cup here. It's not a brand new cup. I did strip this cup. So now I need to sand it. So just pretend like it's a brand new cup, or if you've stripped one and you need to know what to do after that, then this is the video for you. So we're just going to go ahead and prep this cup to get it ready for paint. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take a 180 grit sandpaper or sanding block. I prefer using the sanding block just because it's easier to hold on to than sandpaper. I do have a package of sandpaper that I can use for smaller spots and stuff, but I generally use these blocks. Regular sandpaper is cheaper. So I sand the bottom really good. A lot of people wet sand, and you can totally do that if you want. I'm sure there's 1,001 tutorials online about doing that, but for just plain stainless, I don't do the wet sand. Now, if you do not wet sand your epoxy, then you need to be wearing a dust mask that is capable of keeping that out. You need to make sure you're using the correct mask. Don't just grab one that's for grass. Those generally do not work because this is a chemical we're working with. Now, if you do it wet, I would still personally wear a mask, but I'm not sure if you have to or not, but you need to check into that yourself. So, I wear a mask no matter what with epoxy because I'm allergic to it. So I have to. So then I'm just sanding in circular motions, and I like to work in smaller sections. So I work on the bottom portion first, then the middle, and then the top. And I do the bottom first. Sorry, the very bottom, then the bottom of the cup, the middle of the cup, and the top. And I do this because then I know exactly where I've hit without having to really pay much attention to it. And this usually goes pretty fast. But because I have stripped this cup, there are some little pieces still on there that I'm trying to sand off. If it's just a plain cup, I do this all the way around on every single spot in circular motions. And I look and make sure that I can see those circular motions. And this was one of my very first cups, and I'm just now getting around to sanding it. And that was before I sanded. So this cup had never been sanded before because I didn't know you needed to when I first started. So I just keep gradually turning it as I'm going in circular motions, and that is an important step. Circular motions gives you grip, I guess I should say, in all directions, not just one. If you go straight up and down or just sideways, it's only giving you grip one way. Doing it in circular motions gives you a grip every different way that you could think of, and it's going to hold your epoxy better. So then I'm just going to kind of go like this. I'm doing the curve down, the middle portion. So I'm just kind of using the bottom of my sandpaper here. So this is obviously the sanding portion. So if you're looking for the flag tutorial, you're going to want to look for part 1, flag tutorial. And you'll find it under that heading. Excuse me. Okay, so now starting on the top. I've got just a few pieces here that I'm just trying to make sure I get off so that when I paint this for the flag cup, it turns out nice and smooth. And this doesn't take very long. Takes longer when you're doing it on a stripped cup than if you were doing it on a regular brand new cup. Brand new cups like literally take me probably 30 seconds because I'm used to doing it. Now I am going to tell you, I can always kind of smell and taste the stainless unless I'm wearing a mask. So if you're sensitive to that stuff or you just don't like the way it smells or tastes, just put your mask on. You should have one handy anyway. And then some people wash their cups with Dawn. You can totally do that. There's no harm in that. But then you're going to have to wait for it to dry before you can do anything. So I'm just trying to get these leftover glitter pieces off. But you can wash it. There's no harm in doing that. I don't, because I don't have the patience to wait for it to dry. And I've never had an issue. Nor should you. But you do have to clean it. I'm not saying don't clean your cup, because that is a requirement. You do not want all of this sanding dust underneath. Okay, so I think we're good. You can kind of, hopefully, in the video tell that there's like a dullness to it. So I'm just going to grab a paper towel. And I like to just fold mine into more manageable sheets. And then I'm going to grab my 91% alcohol. I don't know that it has to be 91. It's just, sorry about that. That's my cats, if y'all can hear that. It's just what I personally use. I always just buy the 91%. And then you just want to take and you just want to rub all of your cup down. This is going to clean it and remove your fingerprints from it, your oils, all that good stuff. I mean, look at that. All that sanding dust. If you don't clean your cup, this is what you're leaving on there, okay? So I'm going to sit that down, and I'm trying not to touch it for a reason. I don't want to touch it and then end up with my oils from my finger back on there. So then I'm going to flip my paper so that it's got a clean side. Again, with more alcohol on it, and I'm just going to go back through, and I'm going to go around it and wipe the whole entire thing again. And look. So now that I've done that, I'm going to fold it in half one more time if there's a clean side left. If not, I'll just open my paper towel up and refold it so that I can catch a clean side. Or at least a cleaner side. Put a little bit more alcohol in it. This stuff evaporates so quickly. And I'm going to clean it again. And I'm just going to do this until it's not getting all over my paper. See? Look at that. It's just so gross. Because you have all of that sanding going on, you're going to have that dust, and you have to clean that off. Or it's going to cause you issues later. So I got a clean paper towel. Put a little alcohol on it. And I'm just going to go over this. This should be fairly clean at this point. And this is why some people will just wash it, because you can get all that off in one whack. But see, we went from a ton of stuff to not as much, which is what we want. So I'm just going to put a little alcohol on the other side. And I'm not using much alcohol, guys. And I'm just going to go over it one more time. All right, and see, barely anything come off this time. So I think we're pretty good. That's usually where I stop, is when it's clean, and I can tell that it's clean. So you want to do this to every cup. You want to sand every cup, and you want to clean every cup. Then when you're done, you put your epoxy on and everything else, you need to do the same thing to the inside. You need to clean the inside. Do not send out a cup that's not clean on the inside. I've seen so many people do that. People bring me cups and it's got epoxy and paint and stuff all over the inside of it. You do not want to do that. Clean your cups. So there's tutorials all over YouTube on how to clean the inside rims and stuff. I plan to make one of those as soon as I generally clean my rim when I'm applying the epoxy, so that I don't have to scrape out of a bunch of epoxy, but I'm not going to do that for this one so that I can come back with a video and show you how to do that if that happens to you. So, and I can always do a video on how to clean it up as you're going if you want that too. Just let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please like, subscribe. If you hit the bell, you'll get notifications of my other posts, but you don't have to do that. That's totally up to you. You can just come visit whenever you want if that's how you like to roll. So anyways, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flag tutorial.